listening to NEUROMINDED. Today's episode is Crossroad Dilemma. Thank you for tuning in to NEUROMINDED. Today's segment is Crossroad Dilemma.
Hello, I'm host number 1. My name is Patrick.
I'm host number 2. My name is Sean. And with us today we have...
Oh, I thought you were going to say that shit.
No, you're good. No, we want you to introduce yourself, man.
Oh, Mike Slimak.
Perfect. Thank you. Welcome, Mike. This is our first
What up?
episode, trying this out, seeing how successful we can be coordinating this. And I'm excited to see what we can do today, just because me and Sean both prepped enough to kind of give you an interview, but also just kind of like pick your brain, just kind of seeing how you answer questions, how you think as a person. Sean, if you want to continue, kind of explain how we want to do this, the structure of our episode.
Yeah, so basically when it comes to Crossroad Dilemmas, what we do is we get people, we get guests on the show, and it gives you an opportunity to kind of speak on your current career or job path and just kind of like different takeaways, things you like, don't like, just digging a little bit deeper into, your current career and stuff like that.
Yeah. We like to think about people's worldviews, kind of how that influences their decision making. And kind of, that there's a lot of different ways that, you make decisions. So crossroads is our way of saying, hey, if you're in a crossroad and you're looking to two different options, which option are you going to take? You can take A or B. And then when you find out that A leads you down one path, is that satisfying, or is that something that, or you feel like it may change in the future? So some of the stuff we're talking about is kind of just picking at your brain to see, what is your crossroad and what is it going to look like in the future, or how do you feel like it's going to feel?
Absolutely.
So Sean and me are going to break it down with questions that are based on Sean, if you can elaborate your kind of questions and I'll explain mine.
Right. Okay. So the string of questions that I'm going to kind of dig into a little bit, it's going to be based around just like, I guess, kind of perceiving like your career from like a developmental sense, and just kind of breaking down, potentially your current workplace, where you see yourself in a few years, et cetera, et cetera. Pat, go ahead.
And then my questions are going to be more like psychological kind of, like we were saying before, the decision making, kind of what would you do? How would you think of something? So my questions are going to be based around kind of picking at hypotheticals and kind of going off of those. And then I don't know if you have those prepared too, Sean, but I have 3 different type of psychological experiments or sociological experiments that I want to talk about, and maybe even get your perspective on, whether or not you think these are successful or if you think that there's flaws in them. It's kind of...
My bad.
But yeah, Sean, do you want to just go back and rephrase that question?
Or? Just going to go back into it. What do you appreciate about your job?
I just appreciate really the opportunity because I love it out here ever since I moved,
And what state do you live in?
South Carolina.
Nice.
From Illinois,
Nice.
but
Sounds like fun. All right, cool. So yeah, you appreciate the opportunity. So you were saying before the skill sets that it's giving you, and also, did you answer the question whether or not they give you a discount if you go through that company?
Yeah, so that was the last thing that I left off with when we got pleasantly interrupted by Kylie. So do you get a discount?
I think it kind of depends.
Okay.
Because I know what I've heard is like you have to sign a contract with the company. Like you have to stay with them for X amount of years for it to be.
Oh,
But it makes sense, you know. It has to be worth it for them to give you the discount
yeah.
instead.
No, I.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like it makes complete sense.
Okay.
So like I
Is
take
it?
that
Well,
into
I guess the
a
question
factor and
would
stuff.
be if you were there. So, is
But
it
I
the
already
date
plan
of it
on.
after they started the work you have to stay that length, or is it just being with the company? So, like, let's say you worked there for 10 years, and they want you to do 10 years
Oh, you would have
before
been
they
able
can
to
do it.
get that. No, I already
Okay, so
know.
it's because you've
I
worked long enough.
know. I
Okay.
know. I know how long, but I just don't know how much I can say about it
Yeah,
because you
No,
know what I
hey,
mean.
no, it's fine.
So
I was
saying
just
like
curious about that. Yeah.
yeah, X amount of time, which
All right, cool.
I plan on already seeing myself here for that X amount of time. So I'm
Very
already
cool.
taking that into consideration.
I love it. Well, I think that's really awesome. I like that
yeah,
they can provide you that option.
cool.
We were talking, and I think that we're gonna go back and forth. So, prepare yourself for his kind of question and then my kind of question,
Yeah, yeah, we're gonna
just
split
to
it up.
split up. So, my question is more of a um moral dilemma, kind of just like insightful thing. Okay. Would you open an envelope that has the date of your death inside?
It depends. Do I know it has the date of my death inside
Yes.
before I open
You're going
it?
to be given the envelope, and on the envelope it says Mikey Slimak's day of death or date of death. You opening it?
I don't know.
Can you tell me
I
what
honestly don't
year?
know.
Okay, you don't. You're just gonna say you don't know. You're not gonna say
It
yes
probably
or no.
no, to be honest, it depends. Like right now, probably not. I'll probably be like, I don't give a shit, and I'll toss it. But
Okay.
before, I
What do you
probably
mean?
would have opened it.
What do you mean before? What's before mean?
But it depends on the mental state.
Yeah, I'm saying though.
Like
What
that I'm
what is your
in.
before? Like, are you saying maybe
Like
when you were a
down,
teenager
depressed.
or?
No, like
Okay.
before I moved out here, when shit with COVID
Oh,
and stuff was just like going down, and like the world was just shit. Like
interesting.
I
Okay.
wasn't like in a good place mentally. I was like more of like drained and just like done with shit.
Okay. So in your mind,
So
you
I
would
would
think of
want to
this. Yeah.
know,
Go
like
ahead.
I'd be
Yeah.
like, all right, let's see, fuck it, let's see when I'm gonna die. But right now, I'm enjoying life right now, so like I wouldn't even think of it. Like I'd be like, oh okay, I'd be like, maybe I'll look at that later, and I like toss it up somewhere.
Okay. Well, I guess the side part too is would you let someone else look at it or would you destroy it? Like death came down, has the envelope, hands it to you. You don't want to open it. Would you let someone else open it so they know your date of death? Or would you say no one knows it? No one's gonna know it.
Uh, yeah, I wouldn't let anybody else watch.
So you just destroy it.
Like,
Okay. Hey, it's reasonable. And Sean, do you feel like you want to answer this question? Or is this kind of a weird
Um,
one for you?
yeah, no. So, both ways, I would probably say no.
Okay.
Because
You
I
would not.
know, considering my anxiety, if I were to know the date,
Yeah.
everything from then on out would not be me experiencing things how I should have. It would ruin everything leading up to the death. Because like
Okay.
once you know that that's when you're gonna die, like everything leading up to it, is now different than it could have been before. Every
Okay.
experience, every potential moment of happiness was now like, well, this doesn't matter because I'm about to be dead soon, you know.
Okay.
yeah,
And then I wouldn't want anyone else to open it because then like I would pick up on signs around me
Oh,
every time they act a
dude,
certain
you
way.
would
I would
definitely
be
that
like,
person one day you'd be like, "What the fuck?" You know exact.
they're
Like
just
you
gonna
would be
text
like,
me, "I love you."
"You're
I'm gonna be
saying
like,
it's next."
why are you telling me that right now? I'm just
yeah.
saying it.
I would not want to put that burden on someone else.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
would be a burden.
Oh
Yeah. Could
man.
I ask
Like
a
that
question
would
about it though
crush.
too? Yeah. Go ahead.
What's up?
No, I was just gonna dig into it, but if you had something to say, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say that would like crush the other person, especially if you sent it to like say your mom or something. Like,
Oh
here,
yeah,
mom,
yeah, that's
I
true.
can't look at this. Can you open it? Like if it had to be open, and like I had to, that would crush her.
Oh yeah. I was just gonna say for digging into it, like the
Oh,
goal orientating perspective of it, where it's like if you know you're dying in 10 years, would it help you kind of give yourself a timeline? Like, oh, if I want to complete these things, then I have 10 years to do it, or you don't even think that would even go through your mind?
no, I feel like everything's a waste of time.
Okay.
Or like,
I mean, maybe even then, maybe you would just become less inclined
Motivated
to
to
worry
do
about anything.
anything.
Because if you
Yeah.
know that it's actually going to be that day, you could eat all you want, you could do all the fuck you want, you could live a crazy life because you're going to be protected till that day, right?
right.
So you go nuts. You could go nuts if you really wanted to.
Yeah. Yeah. So if I were to know like 10 years in advance,
Yeah.
probably still no, because like even
Okay.
if I was able to hit like deadlines, I feel like everything would be like potentially half-assed,
Yeah. I'll get
because
you.
it's like giving the deadline kind of like, speeds up, the expectation of everything, right?
Sure.
But if I just didn't know, then things would just kind of come more organically, I guess.
Like quality versus quantity. Like
Yeah,
you'd be like rushing to get shit done, but it
basically,
wouldn't be a
yeah.
quality work. I get you.
Exactly.
Okay.
Um,
Hey, that's reasonable.
but yeah, what about you? Now it's your turn,
Uh,
Patrick.
oh, for me. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
sorry. What I want to know. I wouldn't want to know.
You
For
would or
myself,
wouldn't?
would not. I would not want
Oh,
to know.
cool.
No, because I feel like I have the anxiety issue too. I feel, and it would freak me out. But also I think that I would probably give the envelope to someone that could help me down the road. Maybe someone who could help me do my goals. I don't, like just someone who could like kind of help me frame myself. Not in the sense of like now they know and they're like what Sean's saying, he'll pick up on if someone knew their thing, he'd pick up on it and he'd probably find out, but secondhand. I feel like I wouldn't. I feel like especially if I give it to the right person, I think then they could kind of help me make certain decisions. Like if I make a big decision and I know it's gonna take X amount of years, they can maybe be like, I wouldn't. That's gonna take a lot longer. I know your death day, man.
Right.
Stuff like that. So I don't know. I think that would be where I'd go. I don't know who I'd give it to, but I would definitely not look at it myself. That's for sure.
So
All right, cool.
would you want that person to be like a friend, family member, or someone
Yeah, a
who's like
friend,
not like an acquaintance?
acquaintance.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
there
not a
you go.
close friend,
That's a
but
good idea.
like,
Yeah.
they've got a little bit of separation in the
That
connection
way,
with
I
you.
wouldn't even really. I wouldn't catch on quickly at all
Right.
because I would never really see them.
Yeah,
The
that
day of my death, though, they'd be like, I knew it. They'd probably do a bet on me or something, right? They'd be like,
dude, they have a whole bet with
I
all their
bet that guy
friends.
dies.
Like,
That guy dies in 2027 on
yeah,
this day,
their friends are
and he
just like, well,
dies
that's a
because
weird
of
bet, but okay.
an elevator falls on him.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, that's a specific ass fucking thing. Okay,
Right.
we'll take it.
Right. Right.
Okay, cool, man. Go ahead, Sean. You're up with your second question
All
for
right.
Mikey.
So this next question, where do you see yourself in 5 years? That could be both in general and within your company. Just where do you see yourself 5 years from now? Where you at?
Living in a house,
Oh baby, oh baby, that's a
probably
nice
doing the
one.
same shit.
Okay,
To be honest,
but with a house.
yeah,
Hey, man.
just still on the grind.
Okay.
Doing the
Still
same
on the
role with
grind.
your company?
If not that, then running a crew. But other than that, I don't want to be on an office. I can't do that. Like if they ask me to just sit in the office, dude, I'd decline it.
Oh,
What if the
really?
money
Wow.
was good?
Yeah, I can't. I go crazy.
What if the money was really good?
I go
What if they
crazy.
let you leave the office else to do physical work? Would you do that then?
Because then I would just say, okay, if you have that enough money for that, just have me do the same shit and pay me the same. Because
Yeah.
it doesn't make a difference. Why would
I
you
get you.
I'm doing, I feel like not like I'm doing more work, but I feel
Yeah.
like if you're going to pay me to just sit at a desk, why not pay me to be out in the field actually busting
Right.
my ass?
Because you gauge
Sure.
your like potential on like the physical elements of the job, as opposed to like crunching numbers or doing some Excel spreadsheets or something, right? You're more of like
Yeah.
you like to
I'm
be
a hands-on
hands-on.
guy.
Yeah,
Yep.
you're hands-on.
I
Yeah.
have to like be doing something. I can't just be like like people say this to me all the time. Well, you can sit down and play a game forever. Yeah, because I'm
That's
moving my
different.
hands and I'm so focused on like the movement in the game and using my brain like different ways that I'm not just sitting there like tapping on the keyboard or staring at the screen aimlessly at numbers and stuff all day. I
Yeah.
can't do that.
Man,
And the
we're
context
I
so
is
will.
different.
different.
Like it's when you're gaming, like I don't know, gaming has its whole other thing to it compared to like when you know you're working and you're at work and you're doing your job on the computer. It's like it's a totally different feeling. You can't
Yeah.
just rage when you're on a computer at work. Be like, what?
I mean, not unless you have
He
like
was
a private
camping!
office, maybe.
Yeah.
But like I'm not trying to say like that stuff can't get hard, you know.
Right.
Like
No,
No,
I'm
you
not
sure.
just
trying to say
No, it
like
can. Yeah.
you just
I'm
prefer
just
hands-on.
No, I
like
get
why
that though.
like why is it because I like to be hands on? If they were to pay me more just to sit at a desk, why can't I just work the way I like to, doing the same thing that you guys are happy with me doing,
Right.
getting paid to just I don't know.
I feel that. So do you think you could be running a crew in 5 years?
5 years, yeah, I think I'd have enough
Okay, 5 years.
actual knowledge.
All right, because that I think that like so not a lot of people break down the career in that sense, but if we were thinking like developmentally, like you could always put on a board somewhere like running a crew, and just like as you're kind of doing things at your job over time, it's kind of like giving yourself little goals to strive forward. You know,
Mhm.
just, that's
Yeah,
what
because
It's like a
I've
vision
only
board.
yeah I've only actually been doing concrete for like a year,
right. So you
Hey,
just gotta
so
up
so
that
like
experience.
nice.
I feel like it's mainly based on like your performance, and if the foreman, because they like to move within inside the company
Yeah.
most of the time. Yeah, they're very family oriented. So
Is it union?
no,
Okay, so it's privately owned.
yeah, it's
Okay.
family owned.
Okay, so that could
They,
I
Family
guess that could
owned.
make it easier or harder to move up, right? Because I know seniority plays a big role in union work, but I also know that sometimes I'm not going to say nepotism, but sometimes when it's privately owned or family owned,
Yeah,
it might
they
depend.
got children. Yeah, they're
Yeah,
gonna give that job to a child if they
but
want
the
it.
way that you talk about it seems like it would be relatively fair.
Yeah,
The way that they treat it. So
I mean, you're new and you're already like the like assistant to the foreman, so it shows that you got something going on for you.
right,
yeah,
absolutely.
like I got a work truck already. I don't have to pay for gas. Like,
Damn, that's
can't
nice. I
really
mean,
can't
you got. I
complain.
mean,
I've
you probably got
gone.
what a lot of people don't have. You
I'm
know,
yeah. I've gotten 2 raises already. So
Nice.
like
good for you.
it's be honest. When I was in Illinois, I worked unions all the time, and I got
Hmm.
treated like complete shit. And then I
Okay,
moved here, not in a union, and they're actually treating me actually like family.
Yeah.
mhm, that's nice.
Yeah,
Well, that's
there's
like yeah,
that's a
that's
whole other
refreshing.
episode for us to do.
Yeah,
Union versus like privately or publicly owned, because that oh my god, that's we could
Well,
steal 12
I'm
that's all
not.
episodes.
bad. That's
I'm
its
also
own
not
thing.
trying to say every union is a piece of
Yeah,
shit
No,
because
just when you
it's
were.
relative.
my
It's all
dad.
relative. Yeah,
Yeah. So
It was just because you were part of it. No, I was kidding.
yeah.
no, it's just
No, yeah,
I
your
got
dad is a
stuck with
part of
the
it. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah,
So I
Brett.
got stuck with
Brett, yeah,
I got
Brett.
I got stuck with the shitty unions. You
yeah,
know,
Okay,
it's just the luck
no,
of the
that's fair.
draw.
absolutely. All
Look
right,
at the draw. Oh
Pat,
yeah.
you're up.
I was gonna ask him a question though,
Oh
quickly
no, yeah,
about
go ahead.
the 5 year. So you were obviously focused a lot with that question and with that answer, not question, with that well, the question, but the answer was more about work. But 5 years from now, where do you see yourself on this personal level? I mean, you were saying the house, but it's like, is it a house in North Carolina? Is there like things
Uh,
in that house that you're like, oh, I want a pool or I want like, something crazy, like a car or something.
A new
I know you're getting
graphics
into
card.
motorcycles. New graphics card. I want my PC updated. I don't know. It's just
Yeah.
like something fun to talk about too. Like, is there any like 5 year goals in like 5 years you want to have this personally or no? If it's no, it's fine, but I was just curious.
no, 5 years. I don't
Yeah.
know. I just
Pilot's
be
license.
happy, dude. I don't like.
Okay.
I'm not really like. I'm just simple.
Yeah,
Like I
you
just
are.
want my family to just be happy. You know.
There you go. 5 more years of happiness.
Yep.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, cool. Okay. My next question. All right. If your partner would never find out that you accidentally cheated on them, would you tell them about it?
Wait. Accidentally cheated.
Accidentally cheated
There's
on
no
them.
way it's an accident. No way.
Well, interpret it the way you
actually,
want, but you cheated on them,
no,
man.
no, 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 no. I'm being honest, dude. Like, listen to the amount of steps that have to go into cheating. There's no
Yeah.
way it's an accident.
What if they're a twin? No, I'm just kidding.
First off, how did the cheating start? Like, was you
Just
at a
cheat.
bar and you was drinking, or was it, hey, what's up? And then you had to find a place to meet. Okay, that's already step one. You're talking to the person
Yeah.
in a way of like sexual encounters. You know.
I mean,
Step
if you want to
two,
break this down even further, though,
you
it doesn't have to be
meet up
physical,
with the
buddy.
person. Number two, you meet up with the person.
Okay.
Number three, you go with the person somewhere privately. Number four, you take your shirt off and her shirt off and her clothes off. Number five, you fuck. Look at how many steps. You messed up like 12 times.
It was an accident, though, dog. Calm down.
There's no way it's an accident.
Well, listen. Okay, then. I appreciate the concept, but I'm just saying, like, let's say this is. I mean, do you find cheating to be more than physical, or is physical the line? So you're going through all these physical actions, right? This communication, meeting up, intercourse, stuff like that. But
How
what
it
about
started
the other
with
concepts that have to do with
communication.
cheating? Do you think that those exist too, or no? Because
What
if
other
those exist, maybe that's the
concepts, bro?
question. Maybe the question
What's
is that
hang
you
on.
accidentally flirted with a girl and you didn't mean to, but you know that if
How you
your
accidentally
relationship saw it,
flirt
they
with
would be like,
somebody
"What the
though?
fuck are you doing?"
How you accidentally flirt with somebody?
I don't know. Maybe you're just being nice. I don't know.
Or like maybe you lead them on and you
Like,
don't know it, and
Yeah,
then
maybe
like
lead them on. There's a
yeah.
lot of
well, then
ways.
if you're leading them on, right, then they make a move, you decline the move, right?
Okay, so you're saying everything does lead to physical for you then for cheating.
But you know what I mean? Like
I mean, I get where you're coming from, but I'm saying that like I
like
guess the questions.
I
You're
could
right.
see
If you want to phrase it
texting.
only
I
physical,
could
then
see
accidentally
texting
does make
because
sense. Yeah.
like I could see through texting. Like if you're
Okay.
just texting and you're just like texting back normal, like, hey, what's up? But they think you texting back like in a way that you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I could see where it can get mixed up like that. But if you're actually talking to the person or you're in front of the person, there's body language and stuff that, and then if they're like, "Hey, let's go,"
Okay.
I
Well, I mean,
would,
that's a fair enough that's fair
you
enough
know what I mean?
analysis. Yeah, that's fair enough analysis. I mean, I guess I could go off of that answer as being like, okay, well, you don't really believe in the accidental anyway, so this question isn't valid enough. So I mean, I could just change it if you want and say that like, if would you cheat on your partner if they would never find out?
No,
No. Okay.
plain and simple, no.
Plain and simple. No. Okay.
Too
No
much to lose.
elaboration. I get you.
There's way too much to lose.
What do you mean though?
Yeah, theoretically, nothing would be lost because you would be the only
Yeah,
one
you
who knows.
can't get in trouble in the
Yeah.
situation.
No, my whole personality and demeanor would change.
Hey, I mean, if anything, that's probably one way to think of it. Because
Because then,
when you're
look,
talking about something
I
that's
have
not
two
going to
daughters.
affect you,
Look, I have two
yeah,
daughters. It
uh-huh.
would affect me because now every time I look at my daughters, I cheated, right?
Yeah,
So now
you
I'm gonna
did.
look at them, and they're girls. So now,
Exactly, they are.
you know what I mean? Like I'm being a piece of shit, pretty much.
Yeah, you are.
You wanna
Can't believe you.
you wanna set a better standard, even if
I
they're
can't believe you
not,
did that.
even if they
I want
don't
to.
know.
I want to live the way I want my daughters to be taken care of when they're old, when they're grown and they get married and stuff like that. I want
Yeah.
to resemble.
And you want to actually
yeah.
believe it yourself. You
I get
Yeah,
you.
I
Right.
don't want to be a hypocrite on all
So
that
your moral
shit,
compass is beyond punishment, right? Or anything negative coming from it. It's not just whether or not something negative can come out of it, but it's how it actually emotionally and psychologically can affect you. So like even though there's no punishment because there's be no way of getting in trouble for cheating, you know in your heart and in your brain that it would affect who you are as a person and it would change your demeanor or it would just probably guilt trip the fuck out of you because you don't need to be punished for it. You just know if anything you punish yourself. So
Yep.
I get you. That's fair. Sean, want to answer this one or no? Or
yeah, no,
go?
I wouldn't. I wouldn't either.
You wouldn't.
Kind of the
Okay.
same thing. I would just internalize the guilt, and it would just, yeah,
It eat you alive, dude.
yeah.
Eat you alive.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd probably say no as well. Only because with me, it has to do with the idea that like at a certain point in your relationship, you make a decision that you're gonna be with someone, So like to expand that out to someone else, to me, would feel like I was saying before about those multiple wives, it would feel like that, where it's like I'm adding another layer to my relationship that I have to take care of in a sense. It
Yeah.
just wouldn't make any sense for me to like extend my heart out that way. So I just wouldn't do it. All
Yeah.
right, cool. You got another one, Charles?
Yes, I
For him?
do. All right. So this could this question was geared towards the workplace, but of course you could kind of answer it outside of there. But what does accountability or ownership mean in your work?
Everything.
Cool.
Because if there's no trust in the workplace, then the job's not going to get done. There's going to be more arguing than actually getting work done.
Well, how often are mistakes made on the job?
Depends on if we have a new guy or not.
And then,
Because if there's a
It's
new
always the
guy,
new guy.
if there's a new guy, dude, shit get fucked up left and right.
so how do you guys treat the mistakes by the new guy?
That's a good point, yeah, or a good question.
Just be like, hey, this is how it's supposed to be done, man.
What's
Just-
the system though?
What do you mean?
Like every job is a sense of strike system, right? Like 3 strikes you're
So-
out. So what's the strike
No.
system?
No, no, no.
There is
no,
no
no.
strike system?
No.
Big mistake, small mistake, same thing?
Probably depends on the big mistake. Like if you F up a whole wall and it just fall down, obviously something's gonna go on.
I know, I just
But
wanted you to be more clear.
there-
Sorry,
no.
because like I get what you're
Oh.
saying. Like you guys aren't gonna just start like throwing people off the job work site. But I was curious, like, yeah, I mean, what is that level? Because there has to be. Like Sean was just saying, ownership. Literally, if someone's trained to a point and they're still making the same mistake, that's where ownership goes out the window, right? Because if you're meant to keep that wall up or whatever, and you're not doing it, and it keeps happening, there has to be a strike system at least.
Well, it gets to the point like what is it? Because we've had a couple of
Like
doofus
write-ups,
smirks
right,
working
Sean?
with us.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Couple doofensmirts. So when you get a
Yeah.
doofensmirts in the workplace,
Yeah.
is the idea to like punish them when they do wrong until they get it right, or is
No,
there like
so
a
we had
sense
this
of
guy, right? We had this guy that I
How
now
about
call
retraining?
we call him Pork and Beans. Well, he doesn't work there no more, but that's what we
Okay.
started calling him because he would he just not move slow as in like he just can't move fast, but he would like be super lazy. He
Oh.
would he would start something and just stop doing it and then go do something else, start it, stop doing it, and then he would tell us that we're doing everything wrong. That's a doofenshmirtz, okay? Like he won't get fired. Like he won't get fired, but we then just make his job a living hell and we have him do the smallest things and the most irritating things to where he wants to quit because we're not gonna put up with that shit.
What
If
would
you want to be if you want to be on our crew, bro, you gotta work hard. We're
What
not.
do we call that?
We're
Like
not. We don't want slackers on the crew because we get a
like
house.
mob mentality, right?
yeah?
No, it's not mob mentality.
No,
It's
the joke of like how you're
Oh.
all getting up on him like a mob.
no. It's
So you're
more
all
of
agreeing
like
is shitty. So you're like, fuck this
like
guy. Let's fuck
this
him
is
over.
what would happen. So I'm second in command. So
Yeah.
pretty much like Josh say something, we all listen to him, and then if I say something, then below they listen to what I say. And all that stuff. And the dude started bad mouthing, saying he doesn't have to listen to Josh, you don't have to listen to me or whatever. So then we started saying like, oh, now you don't think we're the boss. Okay, now we're gonna show you that we are the boss. And then it's more of like when they try to think like they can do whatever they want and they don't gotta listen. It's more of like disciplining, like, yo, dude, this is how it works. He's the top guy on the bottom. You gotta earn your stripes. Type of
Okay.
thing.
Hey, if that's how you guys do it, I get it, man. I get it. I mean, back when I used to work in childcare, it used to be, I don't know, I've said this to you before, Sean, but they called it passing the trash. And what their whole thing was that like people that weren't up to standards of working or whatever, they would kind of move them to different centers. So instead of firing someone, they would say,
Yeah, that's what
they'd
happened.
reach out to another center and be like, hey, you guys need any teachers? We have a teacher that, isn't working out here. Maybe they'd work out better with you guys, stuff like that. That
No,
would
that
happen
happened.
sometimes. Yeah.
That happened because
No.
we're a whole, we build the whole home.
Mhm.
So we got like different sect, like got plumbers,
Okay.
framers, stuff like that.
So sometimes you're just passing the person
Developers.
over. Okay.
So sometimes it's just like, hey man, they can't hang. Like they thought they could hang, they can't hang. They're actually slowing us down, slowing up production. Like, dude, we can't.
But instead of
Cause like
firing,
we,
you just say
yeah,
you pass.
we give them maybe like a month, dude. Like if you like, I caught on maybe like 2 weeks. The minute I got there, I just started going, asking a bunch of questions. So
Okay, so this relocation process, right? So somebody sucks ass. They're not doing their job like they're supposed to. When you
not saying they suck ass.
Well,
I just think like concrete's not their thing.
right,
Like,
right,
it's a
right, right, right.
very-
But
Suck ass.
like
considering that,
concrete is yeah.
but considering that, so when you relocate them, is it based on like what you guys have already seen as their skill set? So are you going to relocate them to an area where you're like, okay, you know what, maybe Doofenshmirtz can't do foundation, but maybe Doofenshmirtz could excel doing drywall or something like that. Like, is that how you guys do it, or is it more like you just
I
all right,
don't.
I'll decide on
that's
mine?
something.
Just get the
That's
fuck
the
out of
part.
here. HR can handle it.
Yeah.
That's the part I don't know. That's usually
Oh,
Josh.
okay.
Josh usually talking to him and stuff.
Okay.
But
Okay,
no,
so
yeah,
future foreman, right? All right, so what would you do then?
what would I
Oh, there
do?
you go.
Yeah, future foreman talking here.
Yeah. How do you feel? How do you feel you handle
So you get a
it?
Doofenshmirtz. He's not taking it well. How would you go about treating this individual?
What are your steps, Mr. 5-step cheating?
Yeah. No, that was like a 20-step process for cheating.
Yeah.
It was a really big step.
Yeah.
Cheating,
But
but
what would you
He's
do?
not wrong.
Hey, those steps, I considered them all cheating. I'm just saying, look at how much you have to do to really like,
To
you
get to
know.
the intercourse, I get you.
Um,
You're funny. Go ahead, though. Give us your steps, man. What would you
But,
do? This guy's not working out.
I would call my soup and I'd just be like, hey man, this dude, he's not working out, man. He
Not even
probably
talking to
asked
him?
me- Huh?
Not even talking to him? You're not going to go up to him, talk to him at all?
Oh, I thought it was already like he.
No,
like
that's the
past,
thing. Like,
past
you
the point
just,
of no return.
No,
Okay.
you just
Like
see him not doing a good job
I thought
now.
that was the point we
Oh,
were
sorry.
at. Like
No, unless
like,
Sean meant
'cause I
something else.
said-
I was thinking
Because
that.
before this, you guys were talking about who does. Then I said Josh does that, and then you're like, "What would you do?" So I was just,
Oh.
I
All right,
thought
yeah,
that
you could
at
continue
that
on this.
section.
Yeah, we could
Yeah,
run
sorry.
up this
Say
line.
interrupt. Go ahead.
So I would call and I'd be like, "Hey man, this dude's not working out." He'd probably like, "Hey, what's X, Y, Z of Y?" You know, and I'd tell him, blah yada yada. He'd be like, "All right, I'll give him a call later today." I don't know exactly what goes through, but like I'm just trying to guesstimate on like how the conversation will go. But then I would honestly just be up and honest because that's how this company runs. They pretty much are good with second chances. Like they've hired people like 6 times. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, but it's also labor, so people don't stay.
Right.
Like it's like hard
Because
work.
the
Like when you're
turnover
out there,
rates are
like the weather
bad.
out here is like 105 degrees outside. I'm out there like 8, 10, 12 hours a day.
Staying hydrated, right?
Please.
Oh yeah.
You
Please
better.
Yeah, I
stay
drink
hydrated.
like a case of water every 2 days.
Just in case.
Yeah.
All right,
cool.
hell yeah, man. All right, cool. I loved it. I liked your question, your answer, and your perspective. That's interesting. I like how you guys think of things. I mean, there's nothing wrong with giving
Very
people
positive,
more
dude.
chances. Yeah,
Since I've been out here, I've been really trying to stay more positive.
keep
and-
going, man. Keep going. All right. My next question. Okay. Okay. If you commit a crime to feed your hungry child, are you a bad person, or did you commit the crime out of necessity?
I think that is hitting survival mode. Like you just go into survival mode. Like if you gotta do what you gotta do to survive.
Okay.
I'm just
So you're
being,
saying in that situation, you're doing it out of necessity. You're not a bad person.
yeah, so my child's gotta eat.
Cool. Hey.
What the fuck is wrong with me grabbing some cornbread? You know what I mean? Like
Sure. Sure.
All right. So, doing a crime, bad person, et cetera, et cetera. So, let's break it down. Like, what if you had to kill someone? You had to kill an innocent person.
Oh, fuck.
Like this innocent person was
Hang on,
between
hang
you
on.
and food for your child. You would do it, but then obviously, like, would you consider yourself a bad person for doing it? Like, this person wasn't doing
I would've
anything
killed
wrong.
Stakes, bro.
Yeah.
Those
I'm not
stakes are up.
Hey, I'm not killing someone for food.
Okay. But then your family's gonna starve.
Yeah.
Not true.
No. But that's the situation.
So my family dies.
They could die. Yeah.
Well, okay.
No, I'm asking.
So
I'm
starvation,
asking
yeah.
because now it's either you
Well,
or us.
it's a trolley
And-
problem, right?
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
John created a
Not
trolley
like that.
problem.
So
Not like
so
that, but
basically,
like-
I wasn't thinking that though, Pat. I wasn't thinking that.
Oh,
like,
you weren't? Oh, sorry.
It was one or the other. But in the chance that it was one or the other, I mean, like
I'm choosing my
personally-
family. I'm
yeah,
sorry. I'm
I
choosing
would
my
choose
family,
my family
dude.
too, and I would
Like-
deal with the guilt. But it's like you
Yeah.
have to take ownership of that.
Accept it. Like this was that's my mentality with that. When survival mode kicks in, like when you put it to where it's like it's either you or my daughters or my wife or me. Sorry, bro, but you're gonna have to die.
All right, so for stealing some food though, real quick, let me put a spin on this one. So, all right, you're at not a restaurant, a store. There's one more thing of food left, and you scoop it up because you don't have the food, you don't have the money, but then as you steal it and you're leaving, you see a worse off family trying to get food, but you took the last bit of it. Would you keep it all for yourself? Would you offer some to them, or would you give them any of it?
I'd split it, and I wouldn't
wow.
eat.
That's nice.
I wouldn't eat. I'd have my kids eat, my wife eat, and them eat.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Very noble way of going about it.
Pretty nice, man.
I would probably something relatively similar. It would really depend on the logistics of whatever food was left, right? If you could split it. What about you, Pat?
Like if I could have a little piece, then I'd have a little piece.
Right.
But if it's
You're like,
like
if there's
it's all
enough.
gone,
You get
If there's
the
enough, I'll
crumbs.
take some crumbs, dude.
Right.
I'll
Like,
let that shit
Gavin.
sit in my mouth for a while.
Yeah.
I fast a lot, so like I'm used to not.
So you'll be
eating
fine with
for long
crumbs?
periods of time. No, I'm used to not eating for long periods of time, so I can handle the pain of hunger.
All right. Yeah, Pat. Pick your poison. I mean, we've already did a bunch of different variations of this question. So
I guess my whole thing with me is that, I mean, I would be a liar if I said I didn't feel like it was a crime out of necessity. When it comes down to it, when it's the bare bones of like a trolley problem, like Sean was I felt like Sean was talking about. That would be my decision. Would be, I choose my family. I choose my child over someone else's child. Also, when it comes to things like that, it's like I could break it down. I could dig deeper, but also it's like at that level, I'm already feeling like kind of how Mikey was survival mode, where it's like I'm trying to keep someone alive right now. If I did a crime, I didn't do a crime out of villainy and disrespect. I did it out of like helping and whatever. And because of that fact, I wouldn't think about the problems. Like how they always talk about like don't pirate movies because it takes money.
Would you steal a car?
Yeah, would you steal a car?
No.
Like,
Would you download a car?
Would you download a car?
Would you download a movie or whatever? Those cars.
But like straight up, like obviously there are not kickbacks, but like unintended consequences.
Right.
When you do something like even stealing from like a company, like you are taking money out of people, them paying, but also like, we could probably go into a long conversation about capitalism in the sense of like stealing products and feeling like, oh, well, that's just fucking a big ass corporation. They can afford to be stolen and shoplifted from,
Right.
You know what I mean? You could
All right, so
argue
that's another
one way or the
episode
other.
idea.
That's a huge
We had
episode.
the union versus privately owned. Now we got the capitalism.
Capitalism, product
Stay
loss.
tuned.
But like in my head, it's like if it's at the point where it's a hungry child, dying child, I'm stealing, and I'm not gonna feel like I'm a bad person because I'm stealing.
Yeah, and
I'm gonna
for
feel
context,
like it's
you're
what I should
stealing
be doing.
from the dying child, right?
Yeah,
That's
I'm stealing from that child as they're dying, and if they don't get the bite in, they'll die.
Yeah,
Give
exactly.
me that
Yeah.
fucking
Okay.
food.
Just
My
so
child
I
is a little
understand it.
hungry.
Absolutely.
My child just didn't have breakfast today, so
Right.
fucking give me that food.
Yeah.
Nah, dude. But no, yeah. No, that's my answer. So, Mikey, I definitely took some of yours and took a Sean's answer a little bit and kind of made it my own.
Yeah.
Do you got another one for him, Sean?
Yeah. So this is going to be the last, I guess, career-based question. So if there were no academic or monetary limits, what's the dream job for you? Dream career?
Holy fuck, Sean. That's my question.
No, it's not.
My question is, if happiness was money, what would your job be?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So that was your final question for him?
That was my final
All
question.
right,
I'm
cool.
not
So
lying.
let's fuse that
So
shit.
that's what it is.
What do you
That's
want
the
to do,
question.
Mike?
Happiness is money, man. So whatever
Yeah.
makes you happy
No
makes you money.
limits. Whatever learning,
No
education you
holds
need,
bar.
you got it.
I just wanna entertain. I wanna make people happy, make people laugh, make people smile.
All right,
Positive
so
vibes out
how
there.
though?
Yeah, like what
You
would you
need to dig
do?
deep.
I
You
mean,
need to
you're
what kind of
entertaining is
platform?
fine, but like, are you streaming? Are you making music? What are you doing?
I do TikTok right now, but like I want to be like out there.
Okay.
Like
You want to be like
I just want to like whatever, anything that makes someone just smile and brighten their day.
All right,
That's all I want to do.
we're gonna play pretend. All right. So you're gonna give
Mhm.
me a scenario in which you're able to live this life with this kind of job that you're looking for.
That works.
I'm just like making like content pretty much, just like a content creator, but just showing like just
Stepping away for a second.
oh, you're stepping away. All right, but yeah, I just want to make content to just pass on like good vibes to people. Like what I do is I play a dumbass construction worker on TikTok, you know? I look dumb as fuck. I look stupid as hell, but it brings enjoyment to other people. I would go on I'd be on a TV show as long as it's positive vibes, making people laugh, making people smile. I would do freaking what's it called? I would do motorcycle videos, just having fun, joking around, making people laugh. Like pretty much anything in the entertainment industry that can send positive vibes out there. I'll do stand up if I could figure out how to do it. But like that's all. Like I just want to make content for people. I've always felt that way. Like I'm here to entertain. That is my destiny is to entertain.
So,
Destiny
Pat,
2.
you stepped away for a little bit.
Yeah.
He talked about just the different levels in which he would entertain, stand up,
Okay.
continuing to make TikTok, messing with people, doing stuff with his bike, construction worker, um, things of that nature.
Oh, nice, man. Well, that's
Basically,
cool.
taking what you're kind of currently doing, but I guess being able to do it full time, right?
Yeah, pretty
Wait,
much.
you would still work on construction if happiness was money, or
Well, I would think like if he had a budget, he could just like make a pretend construction site, and then he could do even well. No, that could be
But I guess
unsafe. People could see
I
that.
guess I'm just shocked that you'd still want to even have to do work, man. Because like for
Hi,
me,
I'm
it's
Larry.
like
Welcome to Jackass, and just like
okay,
doing
maybe that
really
like that'd be
crazy.
funny. See that? Okay, I guess if that's what you meant, but I
No,
don't
no,
know.
no,
I just
yeah.
feel like it'd be like if someone's like, oh, if happiness is money, what would you do, Pat? Oh, I'd go work on line 9 during kind runs every single week. You know,
Oh, I
like
would.
no, I
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, Sean, is that true? You really
Yeah,
feel that way? You fucking
yeah,
weirdo. Fucking
absolutely.
liar. Fucking liar.
Yeah, but wouldn't
Um,
it turn into work? You know what I mean? Like technically that would be working.
no, but the thing about it is that we're talking about happiness, so it's like you're enjoying yourself the whole time.
But I'm working right now and I'm happy. So
Oh, like right this minute you're working right now?
like what I'm saying is I'm working currently like
You're saying you're really happy
Monday
at your
through
job right
Friday.
now working
And I
construction.
like mentally and stuff, I'm just like
Oh
actually
yeah.
happy. So like
Uh,
working
okay. I
doesn't
mean,
define my happiness as
I'm not
far.
I'm not can't
No,
tell
no,
you
no,
whether or
I'm
not
not.
you're happy.
No, 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 I'm not trying. But you were like saying money brings like you know what I mean. Your
No, I
question.
was just saying that like you don't have to worry about bills anymore, so you wouldn't really technically have to work for that company. You could just like stream all day and do other fun things
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
no,
Hell, like I was saying, like you could, and like Sean was saying, you could just fucking buy a construction company and you wouldn't have to actually do the work. You could just fuck around and be stupid. But like
yeah,
you're still making money because you're happy doing it. And I don't know how this genie's paying you, but
yeah.
Right.
but
That's what I was
whatever's
trying
going
to
on.
say. Like I would still work like my whole
Yeah,
content creating. I would
yeah.
hopefully be able to do it full time.
You know what
Like
I
that'd
would
be
do?
pretty cool. But
I would be
what would
right there watching you, gifting you subs.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Well, hey, I think that's a really good answer. Sean, do you want to go next?
Yeah, so if none of those things were a concern, I'd probably like honestly I'd want to get somewhere in like quantum physics or like astronomy.
Cool.
Just two things where it's like academically I'm a fucking dumbass, but like if I was able to, succeed in the schooling and all that stuff for it, I would love to have like a career in one of those areas. Just so you could kind of be at the forefront of just kind of still figuring out what this universe is and all that. So that would be my job of choice at that point.
Hell yeah, man. I dig it. I think that's a really cool idea.
Couldn't you teach yourself though?
Like I could teach myself some stuff, but like if you were to actually like be in the job path of say like a quantum physicist or something like that, it's a lot more, and it's very heavy on the mathematics. So it's like you could understand conceptually what all of it means, but in order to like really participate in experiments and all that, it takes a lot of math and a lot of precision. That goes like way beyond just kind of teaching yourself. You could maybe teach yourself, but you probably wouldn't get accepted into any job where you could actually learn like hands-on experience, because a lot of these things they take place in like a laboratory or something, or a specific office, I guess you could say.
Didn't you intern?
Usually internships are based on like if you're going to a certain school or university, there's like internship programs that you could do.
Like prereq. How do you say that word? Like prereqs?
Prerequisite.
Yeah,
Prerequisite.
there you
Yeah.
go. It's like you have to be here at least to get to there.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's that. Yeah. There's like a whole thing with all of that.
But I mean, like, I guess at the end of the day, you're saying that if you could be in that room working with that stuff, then you would be so happy.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah, dude. I dig it. I dig it.
All right. What about you, Patrick?
Mine's
Besides watching
twofold.
Mikey, like you
Watching
said.
Mikey stream, that will
Yeah.
be all I need. No, dude, honestly, traveling would be like one of my biggest things, and I think I'd focus more on like sports event traveling. So I would continue my goal of baseball games and seeing all of them throughout the country. Maybe I'd start going to football stadiums too. Maybe I'd start going to like hockey arenas. And then I think I would love to find a way to like track down different pops, like the rare pops and stuff, like the ones that are worth thousands and thousands of dollars. Like find a way to get to those guys and spend money. You ever see those like videos of people that go to like the shoe conventions and they're selling shoes for like $5,000, $6,000 or
Yeah,
something like
Jordans?
that? Like I'd love to
Yeah.
be, yeah,
Wait, real quick. You're saying the money thing wouldn't be an issue, right?
yeah. So you
Is
just,
that specifically only for you or everyone in the world?
what do you mean? Oh no, well, individually. So like your happiness is the money. So like you're getting like
So it's just you that would get all the money.
yeah. So it's your
No one else in the world.
Yeah, I mean this situation. We're just
Okay.
asking.
I was just
that-
asking because then the rarity of the things would not be a thing if everybody just.
Oh, I
Yeah,
see what he's
every
saying. He's
bubble.
saying like,
That's
if that
what
was
I'm
the way you were
asking.
taking it, the value of those pops that you're looking for, it would have no
It'd
value.
be nothing.
Well,
It
I guess
had
in my sense, and I guess my
Right.
thought process is this question is more about like, so I don't have to worry about spending money to do the things that I
Right.
love
Yeah,
because
it's
everything's
individually
covered.
based.
So
Yeah,
even if I show up to these shows and I find different pops that are valued, I don't have to go, can I buy this pop right now? I would just be able to pull up my credit card
Yeah.
and just pay for it because
Oh,
I'm
see,
happy I found it.
I'm thinking of it as an investment.
Oh, no.
Yeah, no,
And
not
Not
then
exactly.
increasing
No, it's
the
not, I mean,
price,
that's not how I
yeah.
took it, but hey, if that's how you took it, that's how you took it. I get it, man. But no, I think that's what I would do. I'd do traveling with sports stuff. And I would just like really get into the pops and shit and collector shit. Just because I don't know, find these things are really interesting looking, man. They're
Yeah.
unique. I like them. But yeah, that would be if happiness was money. My
What
job
about
would be
a
pop
job?
collector.
Oh, okay. So that would be your career then at that point.
Pop
you would,
collector on the side, traveling.
You'd be like the Mandalorian, but like all your bounties are
Yeah,
specific pop
there you
figures.
go. It'd be, my pops would be my bounties. I'd be Boba Fett, bro. I'm Boba Fett.
taking them cold.
Yeah, put them in the freezer.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I think we exhausted our questions. I don't know if you, Sean. I don't know if you prepared.
If y'all would ask more, I'm down. Like,
I mean, I don't have questions. I have my next thing
or
is
whatever.
the experiment, the social experiments. But we can have more
Oh.
questions if Sean wants to. But I have some social experiments that I was looking at that I thought were interesting. I got 3 of them. If
Yeah,
you
Wild
guys,
card.
let's
baby.
go into them.